Well over 1,000 stones are on their way. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are talking about the stone count for the 8th anniversary. After all, we are only 3 weeks away from the start of the 8th anniversary on Dokkan Battle Global Edition, and I know many of you are concerned about your possible stone count, whether or not you're going to have enough to pull the new 8th anniversary LRs. These guys down here, the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, and the GT Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Well, I'm here to tell you that the 8th anniversary is going to bring us pretty close to 1,000 to 1,200 stones, which should be more than enough in addition to what you've already been saving up to this point. So we're going to go ahead and break down in this video all those stones, where you can get them, and what you can expect. We'll do individual part breakdowns as those happen once we lead into the countdown and the start of the 8th anniversary. But for now, this is a general overview of all the stones you can collect. So first up, we have the countdown stones. These ones we've already been collecting up, so to speak, because we have the rapid growth countdown missions. We already know we are getting 60 from those countdown missions, so you can already count that into your total, although some of you may have already added that in if you've picked up your rapid growth tokens already. But from there, once the countdown kicks off, we will have a login bonus for the countdown, which includes up to 10 stones. So if you include the 60 rapid growth stones, we're talking 70 stones already, and the anniversary hasn't even started yet. There will be a social media campaign, although that'll probably just get us more tickets. What there will be is this anniversary comeback campaign. Now, hard to say, but we're gonna err on the side of, hey, we're gonna get this, but if we get 60,000 returning players, we will get up to 10 more dragon stones, bringing our total for the countdown to 80. So that's pretty good, because that's almost a multi and a half, and we haven't even started yet. Now, I'm unsure of this Dokkan Ultimate Speed Battle thing. I know it was available to the players who participated in the fan meetup in Japan. I don't know if we will have access to this, so they'll probably find another way. They don't usually cheat us out of stones. They find a way to give it back to us somehow. So they may either just reintroduce the event, or they'll bring some other way, but we will get the 10 stones from this event one way or another. So that's 10 stones from joining in on the countdown campaign. Now, if you've been collecting up your other stones and stuff for your logins for the current campaign that's going on, you'll have basically 2 multis just from participating in the countdown campaign, because that's 90 stones right there. Moving on, the start of part 1. Part 1 should be starting around the 28th of this month, or I'm sorry, around the 6th, where the countdown should be starting around the 28th. So countdown our anniversary login bonus, there's about 35 days in the campaign, so that's 3 stones for the login bonus, right? If we look over here at JP's login bonuses here, right, you get 3 stones per day. They had 36 days of the campaign, but I think ours is a little bit shorter because of how it bleeds into August for us. So we're just going to err on 35. So 35 times 3. All right, that's 105. Add that on to our 90. So just for logging in and playing the game during the campaign, you're getting, all right, we're up to 195 stone, almost 200 stones. Add into that the 30 initial login bonus, right? So that's 30 stones right there. 225 is what we're up to now with that initial login bonus. Now, don't forget, there's usually some kind of special social media campaign that'll net us another set of stones, right? Like JP gives them out as part of their live stream. We usually get something along those lines as well. So I think it's like 60 stones. So we add that in, and we're up to 285. Actually, last year, I think it was 77, wasn't it? This year, it should be 80. So actually, let's add 20 more to that. So 305 we're up to. From there, the missions. Now, the missions are a little bit different, right? The missions are mostly focused on getting us tickets, but we do have daily missions, right? So you add the daily missions onto what are already there, right? So you have these anniversary daily missions, which net us 35 more stones because it's one per day, plus your weekend daily missions. There's 4 weekends, so 2 extra stones per day. That's getting us another 340 plus, what does that bring us up to? 16 stones, so 340 plus 16, that's 356 stones for completing your daily missions, on top of the regular missions that are able to be completed throughout part 1 of this event. There's 2, 3, 4, and I think there's one more. I think there's 5 total stones we can get from the part 1 missions. Where is it? It's up here somewhere. Okay, somewhere here. Okay, 2. Oh, I guess it's only 4? That doesn't seem right. Did I miss it? Okay, so it looks like it's only 4. Either way, that's nice. That brings us to a nice even number. So that's for the part 1 missions. Looking at the rest of part 1, we also have this Everyone's Energy campaign. This is the Spirit Bomb campaign. If we manage to collect up all of these little Spirit Bomb orbs by the end of this campaign, this campaign does run all the way through the anniversary. So if by the anniversary we collect up everything, we get 7 tickets, 7 rainbow tickets, 5 link level keys, and 50 more stones, bringing our grand total up to 360 plus 50, brings us up to 410 stones. We have the new Dokkan events, each with 2 new stages, so that's 4 stones right there, so we're up to 414. What else do we have here in part 1? We have social media campaigns. Each one of these gives us 3 stones. There'll be 9 of them throughout the entire anniversary campaign, so that's 9 more stones. 423 is what we're up to now. For these events here, the Majin Buu Saga events and the Worthy Rivals events, right? If we take a look at these, like the Goku event, for the part 1, it's only going to give us up to stage 4. So we're just going to calculate out all of the stones you can get from this event by the end of the anniversary. So there's 8 stages. You get 2 stones per stage, so 16. Our grand total's up to 439. Add in the mission stones by the end, right? By part 2, when you can awaken this guy, you get 3 more stones, and so we're up to 442 stones here from completion of this event. For the LR Babidi / Majin Vegeta event, right, there are 7 stages, so that's 14 stones, 2 stones per stage, 450 sticks. From the missions, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 stones actually from this one for completing the missions. Excellent. So 462 is our total. And then for the Worthy Rivals stage, we have 8 stages, so 16 more stones there. 478 with completion of the missions. We get 1, 2 plus 4, 482 we're up to. So we're almost up to 500 stones here just from completing some of these events here. We have this new limited time event. You get 1 stone for completion of the stage. And then we have this new special event, right? Learn with Goku. So this kind of teaches you, it's a fun little event that tests your knowledge of the game. If you can complete both stages, you get 30 stones, bringing our total up to 513 stones. For the Shadow Dragons stage, there are actually quite a bit of stones to get here, but not every stone is available at the start, right? So like I think up for the first part of the anniversary, we only have up to Oceanus. I think, yeah, it's levels 1, 2, and 3. And then 4, 5, and 6 come in part 2. And then Sen comes in part 3. So either way, we'll just calculate out the whole thing. So you get 7 stones for completion of each stage. And then for the missions, we get 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. 50 stones for completion of all of the events. And that includes, right, the necessary category characters. So that brings our grand total up to 570 after completing the missions here. From there, we also have the next event here that becomes available in part 1, and it also gets an addition in part 2 like the others. But this strongest mystery sees the victory with the Spirit Bomb. They kind of expect you to use the Spirit Bomb LRs, right? So you get 1 stone for completion of each stage. So that's 1 and 1, that's 2. 572 is what we're up to. And then with completion of all the missions, basically it's a nuking event, right? So you ideally want to use a nuking strategy with the 8-year LR. So we get 5, 6, 8, 11, 15, 18, 22. So 22 stones for each completion. Yeah, it's the same for both. So 22 plus 22 brings us to 616 stones by completion of this event. Now remember, not all of the challenges will be available right away. We're just going over in general. We get 2 easy A's during this part. We get the Fizz Super Vegito and the STR Buhan, who's actually pretty good, or I guess Super Boo, who can become Buhan. He's actually super good. So that's 60 stones right there, right? So 60 more stones, bringing us up to 676, and then each one 4 stone missions, right? So 4 plus 4, 684 is what we got there. 25 stones from Virtual Dokkan Ultimate Clash. Now this is a special clash. It'll work a little bit different than most others, but I mean, you still get roughly the same amount of stones. So 709 stones there is what we're at. Moving on, I think that's it for part 1 as far as new stone count events go. So let's move on to part 2 here. All the way back up. Here we go. All right, moving on to part 2. We do kick it off with the easy A's for the Spirit Bomb Absorbed Goku and the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku. So again, another 68 stones there, bringing us up to 777. We get a few returning story events. We get another set of missions. The missions don't change too much, so we'll go somewhere between 6 and 10. I actually think we get a little more stones from this one, but we'll err on the side of 10, so that way that can cover part of part 3 if we're off there as well. But 787 is what we're at. From there, we also get this new limited time event. Now there are no missions for this that grant you stones, only skill orbs, but you do get 1 stone for completing. So we got 787. We get a new Infinite Dragon Ball History, right? So with Dragon Ball History, let's go ahead and open this up. If we collect up all the rewards for this new stage, 26? No, 25. No, there we go. This one here. All right, so for all the missions, we get 1, 2, 4, 6, 9, 12, 16, 20, 22, 24, 27 stones for completing all of the missions. So that brings us up to 812 stones there after the Dragon Ball History. So we're looking pretty good here. Now, unclear of how this world tournament is going to work, as we do usually get a world tournament during, or I shouldn't say we usually do. This is the first time we've ever had a world tournament during the anniversary, and technically on Global we've already had this world tournament. So who knows if we will get a world tournament during the anniversary, and it'll just be whatever the next one is, or if they just might replace this. But either way, again, they won't shortchange us the 50 stones, so we'll still get the 50 stones, bringing our total to 862. From there, let's move into part 3. Part 3 brings us the burst mode for the well, that's kind of weird. This is technically part of, I think this is part of the EX part, but we'll count it anyway. So we get the burst mode. There's 20 from each stage, right? 20 stones, so 20 plus 20. So we're at 900 stones so far. Again, addition to the missions here, we kind of covered them both with the last one. Again, it'll be somewhere around 6 to 10 stones between the two, part 2 and part 3. We get about 6 stones for completion of the EZA area. There's only 2 new stages, right? And then here goes the addition of the challenge events, like I mentioned. We get another chain battle. Chain battle usually nets us about 25 stones, bringing ours total to about 843. Up next, we got 2 new LR EZAs. Again, this was kind of part of an EX, but not really. But they were there during part 3, and it is the 5-year fusion EZAs, which will net us another 68 stones, bringing our total to 1,011 stones by the end of any anniversary. And that doesn't include the following, right? We will probably get some kind of top grossing, and they usually don't like to stray too far from what JP got. So even if we don't fully hit the same amount, they'll still kind of bump it up so we get pretty even, right? So we can expect around 130 stones because JP did get top grossing, right? And that was about what we got last year too, and it's been pretty consistent what Global gets for top grossing every year during the anniversary, about 130 stones. Then you include top grossing for part 2, right? If we end up getting, we can expect anywhere between 7 and, maybe we'll get lucky and get all the way up at 100, but we'll just top it at 30, right? So we'll go 100 stones for top grossing, and then the extra 30, right, for part 2. So that brings us to 1,141. Then there will be the closeout of the anniversary. It's not listed here, but there'll be a 30 stone thank you for the anniversary, which will net us a few extra things. So in grand total, if all goes well and we get everything, we get all the top grossing, we do everything right, we should be just under 1,200 stones, right? Looking at about 1,100, and I've got 75 stones here. So really good amount. I think I may have missed 1 or 2 stones here. If I did, please feel free to correct me, but the number should be somewhere between that number, 175 and 1,200. It'll be pretty high up there and definitely worth your time. If you're somebody who's really concerned about your stone count right now, maybe you went a little too far on the Golden Week banners, possibly maybe even dipped your toe into 17's banner, and now you're concerned about your stone count. Well, worry not, because there are plenty of stones to come here in just about 3 weeks. So hopefully you guys found this guide helpful. Hopefully you guys have an idea of how to plan out your anniversary now that you know what's coming. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, what is your current stone count? And if you are one of those savers for worldwide, how many are you looking at by the end of the anniversary if you choose to save? Just kind of curious of where everybody is at. Otherwise, guys, that is it for the video. If nothing else, thanks for watching, and aloha.